Can you just rip it?
All right, we'll rip it.
Just
Yeah.
rip it.
Let's just rip it. Let's just rip
No,
it.
Miles will carry.
Miles carry.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dude,
Miles will
let's go.
carry.
Well, we got to get into it. I mean, position one all day. You know what I'm
Alright.
talking about, Bill?
Miles will
Like
carry.
Position
like
what?
like a carry in like a video game, like a
Oh
MOBA.
my god.
Yeah, dude. My bag is
haven't-
crazy.
I haven't played video games in so long. I like forgot. Because I packed up my computer because I was getting ready to move and it didn't move, so I didn't bother unpacking it.
That's good. Yeah, you're probably like, you know, prioritizing other things right now, right?
Yes, like this. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Sick.
All right. Welcome back to the Something's Brewing podcast. I'm Bill,
What's up? I'm Drew.
and today we have another very special guest.
Oh yeah, my name's Miles. What's up? What's up?
Miles is another one of our friends from Vital Climbing Gym in Brooklyn. Used to work front desk.
That's we can talk about that today. I'm the
Okay.
first person that's worked at Vital that's been on the podcast, right?
Except for, well, I mean, Jolene doesn't really count, but yeah.
Well, Jolene's like above.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
Jolene
Sure,
is
sure,
that's a different league. Yeah, you got one of the manual laborers here. Tell you about everything.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course, yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
You ever use the sauna at Vital? Do either of you?
I think, have you?
Rarely.
I've never touched the sauna.
Because
but-
I'm about to air it out right now about that.
Air-
I'll go all things Vital.
First of all, introduce yourself, or like, give us
so
a brief
okay,
introduction,
okay.
and then
what do you do, Miles?
What do I do?
and then air it out.
And then air it out.
Yeah.
All right, fair. Well, I guess so I'm from New York. I've been climbing for a while. I used to work at the original Brooklyn Boulders location back in like 2017. That's when I first really got into climbing. I guess what's pretty like the shit that I got going on is I moved back from living abroad last year and still getting set up again in New York. I was living in Germany for 5 years, and I mean, I'm like a caricature of a dude with forearm tattoos, techno, all that fun stuff. And yeah, I mean, I work in fashion. Fashion is my background, and yeah, always love having good garb talk and good climbing talk with my friends. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Glad to have you on. Did you go to school for fashion?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I studied design production. Okay, so a place where I can start is like, so when I moved to Germany, for a relationship when I was 20 years old. And so basically the story goes, the reason that I ended up living in Germany, because my ex-girlfriend and I met while I was traveling in Thailand, and I followed a girl, not really like also both of our decision. It was mainly me being like, oh, I'm gonna move. And she was like, you sure about that? And I really did. So January 3rd, 2019, I moved to Germany. And then, yeah, I just got into school. I went back to school. I had to go back to school because that's the only way I was going to stay in another country. And lo and behold, Germany does not accept SAT scores anymore for like, you know.
When did that change? Was that like
It
before
was the year that I moved to Germany
Got
that
it.
they changed the matriculation process to go to pursue higher education there.
Hmm.
So I was given a choice. I was either going to be able to go to Hochschule, which is like a preparatory course that international students would take going to school in Germany, and it's basically like gen eds for us here. But you have to do it for a year before you can even just go to school. So that was going to be one option. And then I still would have been able to study in English, or I could get like conversationally fluent at German and then join the German course at my school and continue on the same track. So I became fluent in German and then went about it like that. It was probably the most impressive thing I've ever done. So
That's a huge commitment, moving to like a completely different foreign country, difficult language for a relationship.
yeah, no, I think I recommend everyone that you probably got one in you, like move to another country for someone.
Like
We
a
all-
travel abroad.
or like travel abroad for sure, but I think everyone should move at least once to another country for someone.
Mm.
Just do something kind of flagrant, you know, and just like, just like, you know, you got one in you. You got one. Give it a year,
See?
2.
Moving to Texas doesn't sound so bad now, does it, Drew?
How did you learn German? I feel like that's like the hardest barrier is like learning the whole language and
The language is definitely hard.
also the culture too.
I think culturally, that's something that I like to talk to people about as well, is because the culture for sure is always going to be the harder part. Like learning the language for me, it took 6 months of intensive language courses to speak German. That's like, reading, writing, listening, speaking. But it would take maybe a lifetime to become a part of a place. I think that's something that we take for granted here, being in the US, is so many people immigrate here and so many people have to adapt to something here. And that's why I think that the culture at large in the US is not so homogenous. We have like lots of different communities of people, whether that be based on, creed, race, color, whatever. But in Germany, there are a lot of international people, but there is like a very big like monoculture of what it means to be German and to like live a specific way, which is something that I kept learning about more even up until I stopped living there. So, yeah.
I guess like how do you think that Germany like changed you? Or like what are some aspects that like you you like still hold to this day?
Well, I would say that being from New York, I think I constructed my identity solely based on like being a city kid, which is something that I talk a lot about with people who are also from here.
What part of New York are you from?
I grew up in Brooklyn. I grew up in Dumbo.
Okay.
I was like born on the Lower East Side. My parents moved to Brooklyn when I was 5. And yeah, I grew up in Dumbo before it was Dumbo, which was a weird experience seeing the place that I grew up morph into what it is.
It's a very affluent neighborhood now.
It is. And I actually grew up on the street where they take the photo of like the people of the Empire State Building, the arch and shit. My mom's house was at 31 Washington Street. So I think that I had this idea of myself, which was so based in like the way that I grew up in New York, experiences I had, admittedly off rip the, privilege and a certain level of like things I was able to access. But when I moved to Germany, it was cool because it was all from myself. Like, it was no like family member who had lived in Germany. None of my family's German. I did pursue a relationship initially there, but we ended up splitting up about like halfway through 2021, spring of 21. We were together for a lot of the pandemic. So a lot of my life as well afterwards in Germany was just like for me, it's just where I lived. And so I'd say that Germany gave me the sense of identity that like a younger Miles was just kind of like clasping onto from being from somewhere. It was like going somewhere else to have my own experience. And it was awesome. It was also fucking crazy. I had like a lot of ups and downs in Germany, but I really am appreciative for what that experience gave me. So, yeah.
What made you want to come back?
So there's a version of the story that I'm not going to tell on the internet to you guys, and I would tell you off camera now that you're getting to know me more. But let's just say I had like some lifestyle changes I needed to make, and it was also tough because where were you guys for the pandemic? Actually, that's something I never asked either.
I was in college. I was still in school, yeah.
But where were you, like geographically?
Oh, actually, I was here.
So you're in New York,
like half here and then half at school. So, when it first like hit, we all had to move out of our dorms, and then I stayed home for the entirety of sophomore year and the rest of freshman year, which was, like March was when I had to move out, and then so I stayed home the rest of freshman year until May.
Okay.
And then sophomore year was like completely at home for me. I kind of loved that because I got to connect with my parents a lot more. And then junior year, I was back in like the dorms, but like we had to wear masks, we had to get tested like at twice a week. So I guess geographically I was here.
Okay, cool. And were you in Seattle still?
I was in Seattle. Okay. But I was like the whole time I was trying to get out here. Yeah. But like logistically speaking, it was tough.
For sure.
Like moving cross country.
Yeah.
So.
That thing that you just said about needing to get out here to New York. So the biggest thing I can say about me moving back now, like I moved back from Berlin spring of last year. I was at my mom's house in Connecticut. And then I moved to the city. I moved to Flatbush like almost a year ago today, because on Friday I'm moving to Bushwick. something I'm super interested to actually ask you guys, even within this context, we have the space to talk, is like, I think that I know in my heart that I'm like not a forever New York person, especially now having had this experience somewhere else. And I'll always really love this place, and I appreciate everything that it offers and meeting people, community. But like for you, and you grew up in New York, right? You didn't. When you just said that, like you were trying to get here. What was that like motivated by? What did you want to go do?
I mean, I've always been on the West Coast,
Mm.
all my life, so it was more so like expanding my horizons, kind of like how you moved to Germany, like trying to see like what the East Coast had to offer.
Mm.
But also just like New York has that energy. So like when I would visit New York,
Yeah.
you would fall in love and you kind of just imagine living a lifestyle out here
Mm.
or a different life or whatever life you want to live out here.
Do you like it more than?
I love New York.
Yeah.
I love New York, but I also love home too.
Yeah.
And so as you said, like I could not live here for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I gotta go home. I gotta go back to California.
Okay.
Okay. That's just what it is.
Permanently, or like just at some point, just
At
occasionally.
some point,
Yeah.
my family misses me.
Yeah.
And they text me all the time. They're
So
like,
so you don't have to stay there. You can stay here.
they're like, they really want me to come home. So
Yeah.
Okay.
it's tough for me to be here when.
I feel like you, since I got to know you a little bit, like you wear the personality of like a West Coast person really well. Like it just makes sense when I talk with you and I like get to know you and get your energy. Like you're such a like chill guy.
Mhm,
I think
mhm,
from what I know, like you just like I see you out there a lot,
mhm.
but I also appreciate like I mean I don't know if you want to talk about this, but this is like the whole thing about transplants right now, like the whole
So for me, like I don't like my friends being transplants, like knowing transplant, being around people like that, I don't really
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
It doesn't really like. I think, in all honesty, like there's a lot of native New Yorkers that complain about it because
Yeah.
it there's something about like not having that identity and not being like authentic to the city
Mhm.
that they take issue with. And I see that sometimes too. Like there are plenty of people who because they didn't grow up here, they act super entitled. Like they don't have the grit or the brutal honesty that comes with growing up in a city like this. Um, Especially when you see people who like move in from like LA, Miami. Um, but I think, at some point up the bloodline, we were all transplants.
Yeah.
Um, and I think you just gotta give them time,
Yeah.
to be fair. Like my parents were transplants, but like not in the way that like transplants are now, where it's like you have like you come from wealth and you can afford to live here automatically in a nice place. And but I think, yeah, like I said, like when you have that foundation here that's like gritty and honest
Mhm.
and just city life,
Yeah.
then with enough time, just being around these types of people, transplants become natives.
Yeah.
And you'll never be able to. I don't ever want to take away from um people's life experiences and people's history. um that is like erasure is not what I'm talking about, but I think integration and like building that community is important,
Yeah.
and it's an integral part of what New York City is, right? Like we can
Yeah.
take people from all sorts of places and make them New Yorkers.
I mean, I think that's what makes New York special is like you have this like playground
Yeah.
and you allow people of all different like backgrounds and cultures and perspectives to like live in the city.
Yeah, like we'll judge you at first, but as like
Yeah,
years go by, and
but that's the thing is like maybe this is something that happened while I was gone, but the idea of like lampooning transplants and shit, I feel like this happened recently. Like I feel like this happened since the spread of TikTok and like the channels of communication right now and how people are maybe like broadcasting their lives. Because like I don't know if you ever thought about this growing up here, but I never even considered other places in a negative way. Like when I was growing up in New York, obviously I knew New York was the shit and I was like proud to be from New York, but at the same time I never thought it was of note when someone moved here.
I think when you have like those channels, those social media channels, there's a lot of groupthink when it comes to opinions like that.
Yeah.
Because you have people who move in and they never had to experience your anecdotal disadvantages, your any of your negative experiences or positive experiences, like, and you don't align with them because of that. But I think it's amplified by those channels because you hear people take some kind of high ground against transplants.
Yeah.
And you align with that because it makes you feel good as well.
Yeah.
You in your head, you're like, because I grew up here, because I've been here longer, I am the better person.
Yeah.
And I think that hate and like this acceptance is not what we should be endorsing as New Yorkers.
Because I told y'all I was gonna bring notes if we were gonna talk about like fashion and stuff, and I have all these old essays that I used to write and was trying to publish at one point. One of these essays I wrote is literally, please parentheses don't move to New York, and I'll definitely send this to you guys after because I think the conclusion I've drawn is that I don't have the time to like negatively dwell on something as innocuous as this. Like New York is like what we make it and what everyone makes it, and I think that I don't like seeing some person stitch some shit on TikTok and be like, oh fuck these people moving 100%. Here. It's like just annoying.
I think it's important to be open-minded.
Yeah,
it's like I think being New Yorkers, you have this unique opportunity where people from all different cultures and backgrounds move here to experience the city, and you get to meet them for free and learn from their experiences. And I think more than anything, we should open ourselves up to that, and not try to exclude them from the story of this place.
Yeah. Do you feel excluded at all?
I've never felt. I don't even know what TikTok you're talking about. I've never seen it before.
You don't. But do you have an idea of like
I've
the
never
thing we're
felt
referencing?
Not included in New York. I've always felt that I've had like people say that New Yorkers are kind of like brash and harsh, and I've never felt any of that. Like I've always felt that.
Because but the thing is, like, I fuck with you. Like, there are these girls who move to the Lower East Side who wear cowboy boots and 3-inch inseam fucking track shorts and like go to Gallatin and make their whole identity living in the Lower East Side, and that's 100%. That's fucking cool. And like, but the thing is, I like to give everyone a benefit of the doubt. Because like regardless 100%. Of anything that you see on the outside, you get to know most people. I mean, that's pretty nice.
Like, even if I'm asking for directions or just like buying a bagel or something, it's always been love here. So I've never had too much of an issue living here.
Next time that you guys get someone from New York on the podcast, definitely think about asking them about New York, because it's like a great grounding point for the where we are.
Do we have a guest coming up that's from New York? I think our next guest, who's on tomorrow,
Jake,
he's from New York, but it's like
Jake?
He's on the border. He's
from Long Island.
Yeah, nah.
But that's another thing too.
That being said, I feel like everyone should experience New York.
Yeah,
in their lifetime.
I think so too. It's
eye-opening.
I mean, so you were talking about moving to Texas, right, Bill?
I will.
You will move to Texas.
Okay. Yeah, I have a desire to, because I think I've boiled down my life to my bare necessities, and I'm super low maintenance, you know. The only things I need are food, place to live.
A new lens to film your podcast.
That's
Three nice ass Shure mics. The crazy XL Scarlett.
The podcast was like a passion project.
There we go. We need our projects. We need our passion projects.
Yeah,
that's real.
but
That's real.
you know,
real.
this podcast doesn't have to be filmed in Drew's very nice Greenpoint apartment. You know,
True.
It could be filmed in a garage for all I
Drew,
care.
you have a very nice apartment.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us be here.
Of course.
It's really nice.
Yeah. So, but like I said, I boiled down my life to bare necessities. I just, you know, you don't even have to give me a home. I can sleep in my car if I wanted to, and I've done that before.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think being in a place where everything is more affordable than here, it will make my life like a lot less stressful. And you know, I have enough like income where it's like I can live here if I wanted to, but
Light flex.
muffle.
Light flex.
Sorry.
No, it's cool, bro. It's cool. I'm unemployed, but you know, go off, King.
Hey, if anything, you should be complaining about Drew. He's like this apartment,
Yeah, this fucking transplant, bro.
Yeah, how do you think he affords this apartment, huh?
Dude, I don't know. And I was asking you before we started filming, and I mean, I feel like it's just a mute point to bring it up again, but you know, I'm not pocket watching on your podcast, bro.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Let's not do
that.
Anyway, so
but you got a plan. You got a plan to move out of here.
I just think that, you know, being in a place where everything is more affordable would make my life less stressful.
For
And
sure.
you know, if anything, if I want to come back, those few years that I spend in a cheaper place saving up will make the return so much more comfortable for me.
True.
Because I have that like foundation of like, I've saved up this much money.
Yeah.
When I come back, it won't be as bad because my money at that point would be making more money. And
This is real.
you know, I could move to the Hamptons like if I saved up in Texas for like 10 years and just chill.
Okay.
Like all honestly, like
They're nicer beaches, but for sure.
No, I know, but like what I mean is like if I wanted to come back here and lead the rest of my life out here, if I spend some years saving up in like a cheaper place, then you know, like I said, this area becomes a lot more comfortable for me.
That's real.
And I don't have to worry about, you know, having an emergency fund because that will already be in place by the time I come back.
Real.
So it's just one of those things. Like I want to lead a life where I'm flexible about my options, and I think moving to a cheaper place while I'm still single gives me those options.
You're single?
It's complicated.
Oh.
I
Are we allowed to talk about it?
Sure, yeah.
Let's talk about, let's. I want to get into the. I want to get into the meat and potatoes.
talk about it.
As some other
I'm
podcast
seeing
boys
this
would call.
girl.
Let's
but
go.
She just flew back to France.
Lifestyle.
Yesterday.
Okay.
Wait,
cool.
she's from France?
Yeah, she's from
Damn.
France.
So are we all going to talk about our dating lives
long
now?
distance?
If we go in on you, then I'm gonna get this
It's
guy
fine.
going.
It's
Then
fine.
I'll
No,
go.
you can go in on me. And
Yeah.
we don't have to go in on you. But
I mean, I'm down. I'm down to air. I said I was gonna air it out about the sauna at Vital, and I'll air it out.
I need to know about
we'll
that.
get to that next.
We'll get into a lot.
We'll get to that next.
That's a big tease
We'll
right
get to
there.
that next. But it's just complicated
Okay.
because
Oh wait, go back to me. How'd you meet this girl?
mutuals.
Mutuals. There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah,
Real
yeah.
life shit. IRL.
Real life. I hate dating apps. I think, and they just amplify a lot of the problems that we have in today's society with dating.
Facts.
So I just don't. I choose not to partake in that. I tried it in college and I felt I just got super depressed because you would have women who would ghost me, and I would never figure out why. And being able to filter people based on attributes, um, like physical or like otherwise, is like it's just not. I don't think that is healthy, like for either party. And I think, like, let's say this, right? Like, I'm like 5'9", right? And let's say a girl filters like all guys under 6'3". Would you trade those like 6 inches if I did all the chores at home? Like, it's like, you have to get to know people as a whole before you can make those kinds of decisions. And I feel like having those filters is makes my life even harder, because for me, I'll filter everything and then I'll have no options. And I feel like it's the same for women as well. When they filter on those criteria, it's we reduce like our dating pool. Even though you get exposed to more people, like through the app itself, but I feel like you're not being open to all the possibilities.
Do you use
I
dating
mean,
apps?
that being said, it works though. Like my brother and my sister-in-law,
They met on an app.
they met on an app and they're married, and it's like they're not the only ones too.
They're not the only
Congrats
one.
to them.
Okay, look,
Congrats to them.
like, if we're
So-
really going to talk about, I want to hear what you have to say though, because I mean, you have family now who have succeeded.
Yeah.
I think we're in the late stage capitalism era of dating, where it's like dating apps have gamified intimacy. These technology companies have essentially been able to
100%.
encapsulate a kind of large part of the human experience, which is like seeking intimacy and connection. And I just deleted my dating apps a few days ago, and not to say that like that was easy, because like, again, my dumb monkey brain was like swipe, 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 swipe. But I don't think it's conducive to, if I look back on my own dating history, I think the only time I've met either really good or really bad, but like consequential having met people, were like all in real life. I think dating apps are just like, it's just a rigmarole that you don't need to put yourself through.
Listen, the girl I'm seeing, she's a year older than me.
Let's go.
She has a resting bitch face.
Let's go.
And she has like massive like gap between her 2 front teeth.
Let's go.
Shout out. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, damn. Wait, we're getting shout. Okay, you shouted him out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm shouting her out.
All right. Wait. But no, we need to go. All right.
But if I saw that on a dating app, when I still had them in college, I would not have swiped right.
Okay.
But I think now that I know her better, I think circumstances change. And I think, like I said, knowing people as a whole is so much more beneficial to the dating experience. And I think you become more open to new experiences, or like criteria that you didn't previously think would have an effect on relationships.
Are you gonna ask your coworker, or sorry, not your coworker, your co-host about his dating life? Because we're
He doesn't
going
want to
round
talk.
robin.
Do you want to?
This guy? No, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to talk about it. But
Like
then,
last time before our first episode,
yeah.
I asked him if he wanted to bring it up, and he was like, "Nah."
There's really nothing to talk about though.
That's the most PR trained
There's
answer.
nothing to talk about.
The same way that you don't tell me what you had as a job,
I think
and I respect it too.
I
I'm
think
like,
for
all right,
me,
cool.
like, I'm just focused on me right now, and if something happens,
This guy's running for president.
I know.
if something happens. But I have a lot that I want to do in this life, and I'm happy and I'm motivated, and if someone wants to fit into this lifestyle, that's great. But
All right, ladies, if you're interested in Drew, he's on Hinge.
Oh
What
my
what,
God.
what are your Hinge criteria?
I'm not on Hinge.
Do you have
That's
any
cap,
dating
that's
apps on your
cap.
phone?
I don't have any dating apps on my
That's
phone.
cap.
Okay.
That's cap.
I mean, I'd believe him if he says it.
Yeah,
There's video evidence right now.
video evidence. Yep.
I mean, you could perjure yourself too, but whatever.
I'm not like actively looking, but
Just tell them what your Hinge criteria are so that women know what to set so that they can find you.
like what's my type?
Well, no, what filters do you have on?
Well, that would be really hard for someone to change.
What
Like, you can't change how tall you are. You can't like.
For me, like I don't really have that much criteria. I look for three things.
Okay.
I look for family oriented.
Boom.
I think that's crucial, and I think I look for athletic.
Boom.
Because a lot of the activities that I like to do are relating around, like being outside and climbing, I guess.
last one?
Did I say three?
Yeah, you said 3. Was it
Just
just 2?
That's fair.
It's mostly those
I
two.
mean, those
yeah.
are two. Those are two really strong.
I think another one is just like being calm. I like
calm is a great
Those
one.
are not filterable attributes.
That's
on
what I'm saying.
Hinge.
Like so,
in real life.
Good luck, ladies.
for
So
me,
whenever you guys have your first podcast meetup, like, dude, let me know because we can look back on this and
Oh
can
yeah,
say,
sure.
yeah, dude, no filters in real life. No
Fair enough.
filters. No filters.
sure.
Beautiful.
I'm down for that. Whenever that happens.
I am not seeing anyone currently, so if anyone wants to slide in my DMs, for sure, please
What's the at?
do.
What's the at?
What's the at?
Say it for the camera. What's the at?
The ad is at Miles wants to go home on everything.
All right. Good luck, ladies.
Ladies, men,
Men too. All
queer,
right. Bet. Let's do it.
queer representation on the pod.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Even though it's Pride Month and I look like the least, queer passing person, that you got to stand up. You got to stand up. You
we
gotta say it.
accept you for who you are.
For sure, for sure. Also, if anyone is trying to get me to move abroad again, I'll learn another language.
yeah.
I think I lied by saying I only had one. I got 2 in me for sure.
Crazy.
Someone maybe in like the global south, I could go live somewhere super wild. Like I'm trying to move to like Namibia or something.
Wow.
Malaysia. I think I'd do really well out there. Just not in New York. Keeping it moving.
I was gonna ask y'all, since you're from New York, like, do the friends that you grew up with, are they here or have they like kind of relocated as well?
I have some friends who
Or like percentage wise, I would say.
Ooh.
I know my answer.
Do you mean like here versus everywhere else, or like do you want
Yeah.
me to do like demographics?
No,
like
just
where?
here versus like
Here versus
moved
everywhere
away.
else. I would say 3/4 of my friends here
They're
are
here.
still
Are
here.
here.
Yeah.
I would say probably, I think in my graduating class in high school was like 90 something kids. If I were to like list where I think I last heard everyone is, 75% at least. I mean, I think that a lot of people just went to school somewhere else and then just came back and everyone's just running it here.
Yeah, just because they love it.
I think just because they love it. I also think that if you're from New York, you have this like, we like going back to the transplant conversation we were having, like you have this sense of belonging in New York, which I think a lot of people who do move here really have to build and like work for themselves. But if you're just from New York,
Yeah,
you get this, instant amazing place to come back to. Like for me, when I moved out of Germany, when I moved out of Berlin, I didn't necessarily have to move back to New York, but I didn't know anywhere else I would go. And I think a lot of my friends or a lot of people I know from growing up here probably have a similar idea. Because again, like pandemic, the way that people's lives were kind of shaped, there isn't really like a, clear path in general in life. So I think going back to where you're from is always a great start. And then like you did, doing something you want to do, it's always out there. But bro, I know everyone's here. Like
I went to a STEM high school, so quite a few of them ended up on the West Coast for tech jobs. And then a lot of them are still in school. Well, not a lot, but like quite a few for either law or medical. Yeah. So it's I like don't have I'm not like confident as to like where everyone will eventually settle down.
yeah,
But
I also would say that I mean, given my personal situation, a lot of my friendships changed because I lived abroad for so long. And, also some other shit that, I was up to. And I think I kind of like definitely soured some relationships with people, something I like definitely hold myself accountable to. I just like made a lot of new friends since being back in New York, which I think also informs my not giving a shit attitude when it comes to like where people are from, or because like most of my friends that I met through Vital, most of my friends that I met in the city now, a lot of them aren't from here, or if they are, I wouldn't have met them unless like meeting them at the gym or something. So, but I mean, I don't know if you know this or you know this in your life with your people, but like I know a lot of my friends from high school. Like if you were to analyze like the cliques and like the groups of people, probably to a certain extent, a lot of those people made other friends in college or in life or whatever. But like a lot of those groups are still there. Like I've been to parties since being in high school, seeing people from high school, and like I don't know, you never stop. For some people, I don't know if you guys feel me on this, like the person who you were in high school and where you were with other people, even when you see them again 5, 6, 7 years later, like they're still like those people from high school. That's
Yeah,
how you see them.
easily.
Yeah.
When I go home, it's I see the homies,
Yeah.
and they're the same.
Yeah. You just pick up where you left
Yeah.
off,
They all hang out with each other still. Most of my friends are still back at home.
Do you feel a little like left out?
I
You
mean,
sure
I
there?
was always the one who was all over the place though,
Okay.
and they were always all at home.
Okay.
I definitely felt left out.
Hmm.
I had to like delete Snapchat. I had to delete everything because
Oh, dude.
I couldn't see any of that.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
dude.
tough.
We gotta get Drew back to.
No, but it's good. No, I like.
Dude, you're killing it in
I'm
New
living.
York.
I'm
You're-
living my
you're-
life.
You're killing it in New York.
And when I
man.
go home, we can chop it up. So
For
I
sure.
mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a little different in this case, and I'm actually not too happy about, or I mean, it's it's a for me it's a difficult predicament because I compartmentalize
Mm.
like my friends, and I for me it's I try to do my best to, contain um the relationships that I have in those groups and not let them bleed over, but um I find myself after developing new friendships growing emotionally,
Mm.
and it's happened several times before where I've um made friends with a new group, matured, and then I grew out of uh friend groups that I was in previously, and um I find myself sometimes regretting um not keeping up anymore, or like removing myself from those cliques, because as you said, like we like at some point you hang out with people so much that you think that that you'll always be there for them and they'll always be there for you, but um so there's some regret in like separating myself from old friend groups that I matured out of, and I think um to this day I still think about what it would be like if I stuck with them, and I don't know if it would have been better or worse, or if all of the promises that I made um about being with them like for life, or went for like a long time, like if they were moot.
Mm.
It's I think, like, independently, if you do like just an evaluation of self, it's good,
Mm.
but
Moral inventories are very good.
yeah,
Very
but
good.
I mean,
Personal
for
inventories.
me, like I always like have doubts about detaching myself, or um treating people just not the same as I used to. Um and it's definitely like it's a hard topic to discuss, hard topic to think about. And sometimes I don't know. I like some of those separations I regret, and I don't know if I should be regretting them. Yeah, it's
you-
rough.
Do you know who Tony P in DC is on TikTok? Have you guys heard of this guy? He talks about vibrant masculinity instead of like toxic masculinity. There's like vibrant masculinity. You're exemplifying that vibrant masculinity right now.
Is that a
This is
compliment?
yeah, it is a
Okay,
compliment
okay,
for
I
sure,
appreciate
for
that.
sure. This dude's also fucking awesome. Like he's just like he describes himself 25-year-old bachelor in DC who's very aware of himself. I'm seeing that in you for sure. Also just trying to plug all the best people on the internet right now.
Yeah.
While I have some platform.
I think that's life though.
Yeah.
Like
You move on.
like people come into your life in ebbs and flows, and you can't always like, you know, like exactly.
Bro, guess how old I was when I got this tattoo?
All right, if you can see the camera right now, Miles
I literally have ebb and flow tattooed.
yeah,
Bro,
Miles
I was
has
nine-
Ebb tattooed on his right forearm and Flow tattooed on his
I was
left forearm.
19 when I got that tattoo. What the fuck did I even know, bro? I was just like, dude, my life's so hard right now, being 19. But
Yeah.
you're right, dude. I
But
had that
it's like
foresight.
it's like you can't make everyone happy. Not everyone can make you happy. Relationships also like take a lot of like effort. Like you have to like, you know, it's a two-way street too. So for me, there's been a lot of relationships that have kind of like crumbled, and that's life though, you know.
Yeah.
You can't control what you can't control, in my opinion.
Yeah. Real. It's real.
It's hard to think about though, but it's like at the end of the day, like you got to do what you like, what makes you happy.
Yeah. I thought we were going to talk about like fashion and shit. But
Let's talk about
This has
fashion.
been real. No.
Let's talk
I'm not derailing. I'm
We
just saying this is
also
real.
need
This
to
is real.
talk about the sauna.
Yeah,
True. I can air.
Let's talk about the sauna.
Let's talk
first,
about
and
the
then we'll get
sauna.
to fashion.
We'll talk about Vital.
All right, air it out.
I'll air it out.
Air out the sauna.
All right. So if you're listening to this or watching this and you've recognized me from Vital, or you know me through these guys, or you've seen any of us, or I mean, a lot of our friends from Vital will probably either listen to, watch this, or eventually get to it.
Yes.
I just want you to know that if you use the sauna, you're a fucking cop. You are a police officer if you use the sauna at Vital. You are not a cab. Let me get into it. So when I was working at Vital, I remember the first day that I was having a training shift, and it was like I had to go up on the roof. I forget who I know who it was, but I'm not going to say this person because I still work at Vital and I don't want to get him in trouble. But I remember they were like, all right, so this is how you clean the sauna. And in my mind, I was like, this isn't cleaning the sauna. Like this is
They do a weekly maintenance.
They
That's
do
separate from
Alright.
your nightly cleaning.
I've gone on the internet, I've done my research. The sauna at Vital is a 6-person sauna. The amount of like the frequency that you're supposed to clean a sauna of that size is about a week for a certain amount of people that would use a sauna. To put it in perspective, if you go to like Lifetime or Equinox or any of these other, I mean, Vital's price point I think is really great, and I think we all appreciate Vital for what it is as a package. But like as in terms of like a higher end lifestyle gym, right? These places I just mentioned, like they have saunas and steam rooms that fit 20 or 30 people, 40 people. So what I'm just honing in on is a basic math equation of the amount of people that use the sauna and the amount of people that use it daily, as opposed to like using it and when it is cleaned. Like I shouldn't say that you're a cop if you enjoy the sauna, but you and I just have different vibes, I should say, if you use the sauna. And a lot of my friends at Vital love using the sauna, and that's something that I just have to accept about them. I just think it's gross. I think that it also promotes like a weird culture at our gym, especially some of the people that use it. It's just an energy thing. Like also if you go to like any like real rock climbing gym, regardless if they have a sauna or not, there are people that are there to use the sauna, and then there are people that are there to like, you know, actually get some work done. And I'm talking about getting work done, no tech bro, no co-working space. It's like we're there to climb. So But again, I respect the restorative elements and everything.
Never been to the sauna at Vital. I've been down the street to Bathhouse, which is like where
Like-
you should be saunaing.
Lifestyle.
Yeah. I keep, like I said, I get compartmentalized.
There you
so.
go. Drew, any thoughts on the sauna?
I mean, I love the sauna.
Okay. Okay, yeah, come at me.
I mean, I don't go to the Vital sauna though.
But why?
It's just not. It's just like not part of my workflow at this moment.
For sure.
But like, I love a good sauna.
No, the thing is, dude, and I say this with like a little bit of insecurity because I love the sauna as well. I love sauning.
Yeah.
It's just that I know what that physical sauna takes on every day.
Yeah.
And it's just gross.
It's a
And
12
IMHO.
I'm
12 people sauna.
I'm like
6. It's a 6
If
person
you-
sauna.
But like you're fitting 12 people
In a 6-person sauna.
if people
And
know me, I'm like kind of like clean. Like I like to be clean.
you have a clean girl aesthetic?
Yeah, but I'm okay with.
No,
I'm,
I think-
I'm okay with how the Vital sauna is.
Okay, it just it doesn't affect you?
Doesn't
or-
affect me.
Yeah.
I've been in there. It feels all right. It's like not.
But like, you seem like a sauna guy, so you just
I
said
am
it
a
feels
sauna
like.
guy.
So like, you're like, you know that there's primo sauna out there, and
There is.
Vital sauna is not. You're not scratching the surface of a real schwitz, you know? Like,
Yeah, but it's just so convenient to have it at the gym. I mean, I've only been in there like less than a handful of times.
All right.
But
I really hope that none of your audience is gonna come at y'all for the sauna slander, because some people live by it. They live by the sauna at Vital. There's some real sauna.
I don't care
sauna
about
believers.
you personally, but
There you
Yeah.
go. That part.
I'm gonna start sauning.
Oh,
tomorrow.
just bite? Yeah,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
cool. I
Well,
fuck
I
with
mean,
that
You'll
too.
see,
I mean,
you'll see
like-
me in there.
okay, sorry. What I meant is like, I don't care if you sauna or not. Like, it's just that you should.
I was only really tight because I had to clean it. It was my job.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I just was annoyed.
I just feel like people should be mindful before, during, and after using the sauna.
Yeah, you gotta do aftercare for sure.
Like, number one, you should not be walking like butt naked around the gym. Like, if you're using the sauna, you should not be like in trunks or in your bikini or in your one piece on the first floor at all.
yeah,
Okay, can we agree on that?
yeah, you'd get written up, bro. Sure.
Yeah.
the real Vital.
Number two
ops would
is
be there.
just bring a towel with you wherever you go,
Mm.
and like try not to leave like wet ass footprints or
Mm.
like just like be like dripping
Yeah.
all over the floor.
Well, actually, you're okay. If we're really gonna talk Vital, this is something else that we can start scratching on. Is the entitlement at a gym like Vital? Like, I think that having worked in service and also having had a variety of jobs, I began to notice when I worked at Vital that people were a little bit entitled at the
No, yeah,
gym.
100%.
And
Yeah.
I was wondering like why it was like that. And then I realized it's just there is no like there's kind of like no harm, no foul in people's minds when they like do certain things at the gym. But if you would know about like the like internal meetings and like the things that you get notes on and like the way in which that we're supposed to be super courteous to everyone, and those are all things I was fine doing. But like there are people at Vital who do have this really weird energy, and I never got that from any of the people I really fuck with and I like
Yeah.
have become friends with and stuff. But it's more so just like these normies that are at Vital. Like Vital is like a normie ass gym, and like it does have this population of normies, which I'm like I just have this very interesting rapport with, because
I just feel like at that price point, whether you pay monthly or yearly, if you're a member, it's exclusive to a certain extent. Most gyms don't cost as much as Vital.
Yeah.
I mean, there are like
and some gyms cost more.
yeah,
but then that's like a different
there
lifestyle.
are upper echelons like Equinox and Lifetime.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that having been in an Equinox only once,
One time.
like if you don't look wealthy, people don't talk to you. And if you go there to talk to people, then that's a different story. But like I think Vital at, like I said, at that price point, you attract a certain crowd, and that crowd may not be as snobby as the Equinox crowd percentage wise, but you definitely get like at least like a noticeable amount of people who have that attitude.
What do you think, Drew?
I mean, I haven't been climbing for that long. But I have been to a lot of gyms, notably in California, and I do feel like it's hard for me to leave Vital for the social aspect. It's easy to interact with people at Vital, whereas if you're like at other gyms, it's just kind of tough. Like people are a little bit more, like have their walls up, and I don't know, they're like just there to climb and have their headphones in. Whereas Vital is more of like a social. There's like a lot more community.
I think
there is entitlement to it,
but you can definitely draw a comparison, and you can reason as to why there's such a sense of community. Like when we're all like working on a new set, it's kind of like there's 5 benches and there's like 20 people and we're all splitting sets. And when you have that kind of like sense of sharing, where like you have like a few problems on the wall that everyone is working on and everyone's gathered around, everyone's talking when they're not climbing, you're going to get that sense of community more than if everyone had their own bench and was doing their own thing. And I think that's why like especially at climbing gyms, you get that social aspect more than anything.
I'm with it. Like I can also have I have all my gripes about Vital, but I mean it's like where I made all these new friends I just talked about.
Yeah,
and I'd say that the big disconnect between, because I've worked at a lot of gyms now, and like even also my experience going to gyms in Europe, and it is Vital actually is kind of an outlier in terms of the people that are there, and I just think it's, if I didn't have the sauna bros, I wouldn't have you guys. Or if I didn't have some of the, like, we haven't gotten into fashion yet, but like the normie aloe set girls, you know, doing lower body exercise in front of full length mirrors.
Yeah, can we talk about that? I actually want for all the
Whoa.
guys and girls that wear leggings on the wall,
Ooh.
you're fake climbers.
Whoa.
You're gumbies.
Whoa.
All right, you're not.
I think I can think of a couple of people who I think climb harder than me who also climb in leggings though a lot.
I know that.
I think you can too.
They are an exception.
There's a lot of girls that wear leggings. They're strong.
Y'all gumbies.
Whoa,
Y'all
that's
gumbies.
crazy. Are you gonna let them talk about your boys like that?
I do not support that statement at all. I feel
I'm
like,
sorry, y'all gumbies. Like
personally, I feel like you should be able to wear whatever you want to wear.
I agree with that,
Like,
but
rep your fashion.
you can do, like I said, you can. I don't judge. You can wear what you want. I just feel like if you still wear leggings, you just have not been on the wall long enough to experience like ripping, or like maybe you can just afford it, but like ripping through like several sets of leggings on like slab, or like or like knee bars, where like you will run through pants so fast.
I brought up aloe set girls who specifically don't climb. That's like what I was talking about, is the people that use the gym.
Got it.
That like gym. Like I've got a lot of I don't really have a lot of gripes with anyone who climbs, regardless how you climb. I'm more on this guy's side with that. I mean, I think I can be a little virtuistic in general when it comes to fashion, which I'm down to get into. But I think that there are just these certain personas that I see at Vital, and the girl with AirPod Maxes doing leg and lower body workouts in the full length mirror, like that is a person that you'd see at any gym. But the fact that you go to Vital and do that as well, that's like the biggest thing about Vital to me, is that it is a climbing gym, but it is also like a lifestyle gym. And that's the gambit it runs. And I think that offers really great community, really unique experiences, really cool people, a way to, you know, potentially meet people, because people have called it on staff many a times at Vital. People have been like, yeah, this is the real life dating app. This is like the like randos coming in and out. Like, I think a lot of people are liable of doing some shit there. But I mean, I think that specifically the climbing culture at Vital is at a really solidly like intermediate and open place where like if you go to a gym like you were saying and people just have their headphones on and they're just putting in work and like whatever, like it can be like a little off-putting if you're like trying to chill. And at the same time, if you're trying to work and you see some person who's like working a knee bar, like working something in like an overhang, and they're wearing like they're putting on a fit. Like I want to talk about putting on fits, but like they're
Overhang
putting
is
on a fit.
fine for fit. Like if you want to do overhang in,
Okay,
in
for
a
sure.
fit, that's fine. I don't care.
Okay, calm.
But like I just find it. Well, I also find it like just weird if you wear like a really like really nice clothes on the wall,
Okay, we definitely have to talk about that.
because you
Yeah. Talk
Has,
shit.
has any no? But
you
well,
risk
first,
you risk the like the chance of just ruining or like
we're gonna get to that.
yeah.
Like it's part of the aesthetic that
Yeah.
I'm going for.
Well, I think it's all an art. Like the way you climb is an art.
Yeah.
The way you represent yourself
Yeah.
through your climb is an art. The way you represent yourself physically is an art.
Mhm.
So it's like
So fashion just fits into it.
it does fit into
So
it.
so Bill, so we're talking about like
Your climbing style and how it represents you.
we're back. Sorry, I'm just like this is a good. We're back, right? We're back. Okay, so we're talking
Sorry,
about.
we just took a bathroom
No,
break.
keep all
but we're
that in
back.
though.
Okay,
Keep all that in though.
Okay. No,
Well, I'll
keep that
cut it
too.
into shorts and make it funny.
No, that's
Um,
fine. That was
I'll
good.
cut it
So
into
we're
shorts and
we're
make it funny.
talking about like the fits that people put on when they climb.
Yes.
And Drew is bringing up a great point that it's all. I think people throw around the word aesthetic a lot these days, but it's not just like an aesthetic the way that you climb. It's like your personality, your character, the way that you want to express yourself. A lot of that is how you represent yourself through fashion, which is something I wrote a lot about in school, something that informs a lot of my work that I do now and that I like try to do going forward. But it's just such a spectrum because some people are clearly trying so hard. Some people clearly put that shit on and rock it and like it's very authentic to them. And like in between, you got everyone else who bought a piece of Arc'teryx in the past like 3 or 4 years. So it's like
Anyway, all right. Wait, let me back myself up though.
Yeah.
'Cause
I just stared at for
oh,
everyone
that
who's
wasn't to you though.
no,
That
but-
wasn't okay. It seems like you got something you want to say.
For everyone who's listening in,
Let me
I
speak-
just stared at Drew
let
real
me speak
hard.
my piece real quick because I didn't grow up, but I lived in the Pacific Northwest for what was it, 6 years.
Talk your shit.
And
I saw the husky pillow right there on the couch.
and everyone out there was wearing Arc'teryx. Arc'teryx blew up probably like 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago max. I was wearing Arc'teryx probably like 10 years ago.
you got the receipts, bro.
I got the receipts.
Me fucking too.
I'll pull up the pictures.
I went to Lewis and Clark for a year out of high school. That's where the only other place I've lived besides New York. And well, I've lived in like Asia a lot because of my mom, but in Portland in like fall of 2016, winter, like beginning of 2017, I learned about Arc'teryx hardcore because
Yeah.
everyone in Portland, no one wears, and like and in Seattle too, like people don't use umbrellas.
Yeah.
You just wear your outer layer.
That's true. No one in Seattle wears umbrellas, so you're just like wearing your shell layer all the time. Everyone wears Arc'teryx there, though. If you go to Seattle right now, if you go to the Pacific Northwest right now,
Yes, Drew. Yes, Drew. You don't wear umbrellas. You hold them.
I don't even use an umbrella.
He doesn't use an umbrella, bro.
I just
Yo,
embrace
All
the
right.
outdoors. But that's not to say I haven't been hopping on the hype though.
no, you wear it. You put that shit on though because I, think
I love
it's all-
Arc'teryx. I
Okay.
love
shout
Arc'teryx.
out a new brand that I will eventually start wearing. That's not Arc'teryx because I'm not buying into the hype. I think Reigns is onto something, and I think I will start repping the ponchos.
You sound like a fucking buyer at like a boutique store in some tier 2 ass city, bro. Reigns, they make nice shit. They have good technical wear, but like that's the like Reigns, Norse
Like,
projects,
for-
like all that stuff.
For just like wet weather, I don't think like there's other options.
Reigns is just kind of like basic finance, bro. Arc'teryx Valence. It's the
I think
same as
Patagonia is more like
Well, no, because Patagonia has more heritage than even Arc'teryx. It's just a thing that like if we're really gonna talk fashion, like I'm gonna talk fashion with you right now. You
Go for it.
gotta understand. We're talking about a culture or a subculture of climbing or of skating or of whatever that became into the spotlight, became pop culture at a certain
Mhm.
point at certain times. Like Patagonia has been making clothes since like what the 70s or whatever. Arc'teryx has been making clothes since the early 2000s. Like there's always a point where there was like a brand and the impetus was there and then it was adopted. So I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the finance guy with the collared shirt with the vest on.
Yep.
Like that's where you see the logo hit. Patagonia still, for what it's worth, does a lot of great outerwear gear.
I agree with that
So
100%.
I think though that Arc'teryx has a really, really strong cultural amount of clout right now that people are allowing trends to be tapped in with. But I think that if there's going to be the next Arc'teryx or the next thing, I don't think that there's going to be a specific brand. I think it's going to be a larger overt shift again in what people are generally buying. And I think that if you pick Reigns, sorry, I was roasting Reigns people, give me a job, I'm unemployed. Like that's calm, because like part of the enjoyment of fashion for me is finding something slightly off the beaten path, finding something that's a little different, and you're not trying to be like hipster about it. You're just like not trying to wear fucking Deadbird like everyone else is. But again, I really like Arc'teryx. I really like all these brands. It's actually like what I want to do, honestly, with my career. Is like I've like worked in like high fashion to some extent, and I'm like so much more interested in technical garments and stuff.
Before everyone starts buying Arc'teryxes,
Yeah.
I would like to say that I don't know, do they use like PFAS for their waterproofing?
So I think it depends. I think a big overarching thing to mention with Arc'teryx is it was just bought by that corporation that owns Solomon. Do you guys know the corporation I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think is it VF? VF Corp?
Something like that, yeah.
Who bought
But the thing is, there's a recent New Yorker article that came out on
Amber Sports, yeah.
how 3M covered up the environmental damage
Yeah.
of PFAS for a very long time.
for sure?
And I just want everyone to be aware that if you go out and buy like waterproof jackets, any sort of that thing, you should reduce your consumption as much as possible.
Dude, let's go. We're talking about conscious consumption on the pod.
Yes. Like you should have like at most like 2 waterproof jackets. Like you could make do with one. I will be
Drew's
honest.
like, bro, I want the flavors though. He wants
Like,
the flavors.
Just buy one that goes with all your outfits and just use it as like an outer layer, and then that'll do it.
I really only have one show.
Yeah, that's fine.
You wear the blue one, right?
Thank
you.
The
Yeah.
blue one looks nice.
I appreciate that.
Yes. But I have a multitude of mini t-shirts. And so that's the thing.
T-shirts are fine.
That's the thing I want to talk about.
I'm
is
specifically talking about like the material shells where you have that waterproof material. Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
I like Vital too, because there's a lot of like fashion like individuals who are like kind of pushing their own brands. We got Bill with Beta Break Apparel. Callum's doing his own brand. There's like a lot of individuals who I've bought like a lot of their t-shirts, and I love repping my friends, and so that's kind of where I've been pushing my fashion, is like supporting the homies and wearing clothes that they're trying to endorse.
Drew wears my t-shirts to bed.
Dude, your t-shirt's right there.
I know.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know.
I bet. That's really sick.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
So yeah, I mean that kind of just like comes back to the whole fashion aspect of it all. Is like there's community in that sense.
When you and I had conversations already, and I'll put it out there, I'm really trying to help Bill.
So just to give context, Beta Break Apparel is working on pants.
And I know pants. I've talked with Bill about like, I actually had this conversation with a lot of people recently. Someone who studied this and like went to school and have seen other people try to do it. And I have wanted to try to do it myself, but I've never really put myself in a position to set the money or time aside to do it, which hopefully someday will change. When I ask people like why they want to do a fashion business, whether it's a brand or something revolving around fashion merchandising, I always ask them like why they want to do it. And
you want to ask me why?
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, I'm more gonna ask Drew like why
We'll
you want to
we'll
do you want to support it, and
Sure.
like the way that
Yeah.
you're recognizing that like there are interesting individuals in your life who might have interesting ideas, who you share a certain communal or third space with. Like that is very organic, putting on for the homies like fashion culture, and that's another thing that I really appreciate about it. That's why I like fuck with talking with you about these pants that we want to work on, and all the guys that you just mentioned too, like also Callum included, and I feel like there's other people I know doing shit, but no, it's really cool that
Well,
we have
first
that
of all,
community.
like the shirts that people come out with, they're fucking sick.
Mhm.
So like, if it looks good, I'll always rep it.
Mhm.
But the second thing is like, because they're the homies, you have like influence on how things look. Like right now, me and Callan are working on this. His company's called Fargon.
Mhm.
He's like dropping new shirts right now, but we're working on like a custom design specifically for me.
Mhm.
And so like we're doing it back and forth right now on like what exactly I want, and so that feels special for me. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a one-on-one piece.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Well, I think that if we were to talk about fashion within the context of like, honestly, a lot of shit we've been talking about today. We're going to talk about Vital more, but also like we're talking about like New York and transplants and da 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 and this and that. I think that my biggest thing that I offer from my standpoint in fashion, having worked in fashion and having had some experiences, is that there's two separate things. There's like an appreciation and an interest in clothing and how it is made and what informs it, and everything that, like, when you and I talk about like the technical drawings that I want to show you later and like the interest in fashion, there's an interest. And then there is an interest in the aesthetic of fashion. And this is something I wrote a lot about in like my thesis for university. But like the biggest issue that I either see with people and how they, you know, carry themselves with their own interest in fashion or like going to events in New York and all this shit is that people want to like be seen, and that's what a lot of clothing is about, is like, you know, your representation of yourself. But there's a specific part of fashion culture in New York and widely on the internet, which is like who's cool and like what is cool, what is exclusive. And I think there's so much more to tap into about, you know, like genuine lived experience, meeting people, working on interesting projects, doing cool things, including rock climbing, which is like or skating, or we can talk about any subculture where a lot of really influential fashion things are built out of. That's like something I think about a lot. And so then when I see people at Vital who buy Gramici pants and, you know, like begin to like fit into this like little thing, it's like how you wear it, and it's sort of like what your personality comes out as while you do it, which is like very crucial to me. Yeah. Because people been buying the Gramici pants, people been buying the Arc'teryx, people been buying the XT6s, and it's like, are you doing that just to fit in, or are you doing that because you really genuinely connect with what this is that you're investing in and you want to explore it and like go deeper? Yeah, that's like a big division that I see just widely in my view of fashion. Yeah. So yeah,
I mean, I've always loved fashion. I've always loved like representing yourself outwardly. Mm-hmm. And so I've always felt like, you know, just being able to do that is a gift.
It is. So, it is really cool. Also, I think Bill wants me to ask what the impetus of his brand was.
Just ask him.
Bill, what's the deal with this beta break, man? What have you been cooking up?
So I'll tell you the origin story. It's actually quite funny.
Okay.
So shout out Pedro, by the way.
Pedro from Vital?
Yes.
Shout out Pedro.
Shout out Pedro.
One of the real ones at Vital for sure.
Yes, he works at Vital currently. And one day, last summer of 23, he had his AirPods swiped by a day pass Gumby who was from GP81 at the time. And
damn.
And you know, we there had already been this a lot of animosity, at least coming from the GP side. You know, all like anti-mega is one of the biggest concepts that we have in like the design space, like the art space, where you have smaller gyms who sort of rebel against having chain climbing gyms, and this is especially true for climbing gyms versus regular gyms.
Yeah.
Because you want that sense of community, as opposed to when you have a chain gym, it feels manufactured. So one of the shirts that came out from GP81 closing and then reopening this year, congratulations.
Shout out GP81. Love those guys.
I do. But the shirt that they had was you basically had Anti-Mega, and it was like a phoenix rising out of the flaming mess that is the old GP81 building. But back to Pedro's AirPods. So when the thief was confronted with
So fucking scared of this dog, dude.
Drew is a dog sitting for context.
This
for
dog
those-
bit my toes when I walked in. Straight up bit my toes.
I think the dog is definitely racist. But going back to, so the thief was confronted by management about the stealing Pedro's AirPods, and initially she tried to weasel her way out of it. She was like, "Oh no, these are mine. You know, I just left them on the table." And then they confronted her. They were like, "No, actually, we have footage of you swiping these from Pedro." And she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, that's my fault." And then a week later, she gets banned from the gym because management asked Pedro. They were like, "What do you want to do with her? You know, do you think it's fair that she gets a lifetime ban, or do you think, you know, if we ban her for like a couple months, it's fine?" And he was like, "No, I think lifetime makes sense because, you know, if like we number one, we don't want that kind of person hanging around the gym. It makes staff feel unsafe,
Mhm.
and it also makes everyone else feel unsafe when, you know, you don't know if your belongings are secure or not,
Real.
unless they're in a locker, which is, you know, there's not enough lockers for everyone. But the other thing is, like, you know, she's not going to learn her lesson because, you know, she has that other climbing space that she can use. It's not going to detract from her life in any way meaningful. Like,
Yo,
it's
how
not,
does
it's not a
this
valid
how does this
punishment.
have to with what?
So I was in.
I'm just like, because like
Yeah. So
you were
I'm
like,
getting,
yo,
I'm getting,
pull up, record this podcast. I got shit I gotta air
I'm
out
getting to
about
it. So
fashion.
so after the anti-mega shirt
Mhm.
and after this happened, I was inspired to draw. And all the OG fans of Beta Brick Apparel know this was before I came up with the name and the logo for Beta Brick Apparel. I drew a design for a shirt that's a parody of the anti-mega.
Okay.
And it's on the top. It has the exact same lettering, like anti-mega, on top of the arch on the design. And then in front of it, it looks like it's spray painted. Like in pink, anti. So it's anti-mega. And it's, if you look at the graphic, it's a nuke going off behind a giant Terminator spider monkey that's ripping apart the Phoenix that was on the original design and standing in the flaming rubble of GP81. And there was actually more people that liked that design than I would have thought. Especially since, you know, I have, you know, even though I am a member at Vital, I think, you know, anti-mega is something that I can get behind to a certain extent because, you know, as you know, Cliffs was recently acquired by Movement. Well, Cliffs was acquired and rebranded to Movement by a private equity firm. So, and, you know, I think, like I said, manufacturing that kind of community is not something you can do like unorganically.
Yeah.
So that was the very first design, and that was before I had a logo. And after that, I started. I realized, hey, look, you know, people, number one, they like the design, and I have a lot more ideas for them. And number two, I printed it on a shirt that is super comfortable for climbing. Eventually, we have to address the fact that it's 50% polyester, which is
Real. We're working on it.
Yeah, it's not good
working on
for. It's not environmentally conscious, but it's super comfortable for climbing, super stretchy. It lasts a long time. I have one one of those shirts, I have one from when that I got in high school, and it's still soft to this day. It's just not like
What's the blank, bro? What's the blank?
next level apparel tri blend. It's
There you go.
50% polyester, 25% cotton, 25% rayon. Um, and it makes it like the rayon is what makes it stretchy, and it makes it super comfy. So people like the shirts, number one, and then people like the designs, number two. So I started, I was like, you know what? I think this could be something bigger. Let me brand it, and then let me start putting out more designs.
When you pulled out the Coach jacket the other day and you gave it to Jake and you showed me yours, I was like, yeah, this guy's got it. Because like I haven't talked with Callum a lot about what he's doing. He showed me a shirt that he made and it was really sick. But I think I've been around enough like
The jacket was cool.
people trying to do it, and I think you've got some sauce.
I appreciate it.
And I'm excited to work on whatever you've invited me to come work on with you. Because I'm excited for you to see what the process to do cut and sewn is. And
Oh yeah, 100%.
it's gonna be real.
It's so much more in depth than just screen printing and picking a blank.
Yeah. So
I'm
cool.
ready.
Yeah, I'm ready too. When are you gonna start? Well, when are you gonna start doing merch, bro?
That's a good question.
It's in the works.
It's not in the works.
Can we at least get stickers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stickers would be sick.
I need to work on a lot of things.
Just start with stickers. I'm down with stickers.
For context, when Drew started doing his kombucha, I remember one conversation we had where I was like he's also like this guy also has the sauce right now. Like the product is good.
Literally
like
has the sauce.
that's my whole thing whenever it comes to like branding or business.
He has to work on the branding, but I think the product is there.
I think it's just like he just needs to expand. I think he needs more of his friends to like.
Oh yeah, that too. I think
do people also tell you like you should just go bigger?
Scale, yeah, I've told him before. I think
Okay.
scale is, but I think scale is one of the things that I think we both want for his brand. But I think we both admit that it's also a challenge more than most people would think, because he wants to keep that quality and he wants to keep that like formula control within grasp. When you start scaling and you start letting other people recreate Drewbucha, I think you run the risk of selling product that you personally have not endorsed, and that is not what he wants.
Okay.
Facts.
I think Drew is onto something where he wants to sell a high quality product, and in order for it to be guaranteed high quality, he has to taste every batch.
Okay. I just want to see y'all eat.
I mean, I've been scaling. It just takes a long time though.
Yeah.
Like these days, it's like hours.
Yeah.
Like I've doubled up twice now, and
How many
Congratulations.
bottles can you rip when you do a batch?
100.
You can do 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I started off with like 20.
I know.
Crazy.
When we did that market, like, was that before?
Yeah, before all this. That was
Yeah.
actually the day I found out. That day.
Sick.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Drew.
Thank you.
Yeah. We gotta do one of those again soon.
We'll do it. We'll do it. Yeah. Do you wanna talk about it?
Sure.
Some context?
Yeah. Well, yeah, for context, I mean, I met both these dudes obviously through Vital, and obviously I fuck with Bill's Beta. Maybe not all the time with climbing, but with the clothes for sure. But yeah, with Drew, we did a community market at Vital once, and I've done like pop-ups in the past where I do secondhand clothing for charity. And we got to do a Vital community day recently, which was really fun and super successful. Like that showed me that I need to put more effort into my passions outside of like whatever it is I'm doing for work or, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we had a day where I was doing clothes for charity and he's doing kombucha as well. And we definitely want to do it more this summer. I mean, we got to just nail down like 1 or 2 days where we just set a day aside and we just pop up anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, for you, it's just getting the product ready.
Yeah.
You know me, I have shit for days.
I mean,
when
I
it
have
comes to
products.
clothes.
I mean, the idea is like we'll just like pop up at like McCarran or just outside Vital, and we'll do a little
Yeah.
summer
That's sick.
flea market
Yeah.
type vibe
100%.
on the street,
Yeah.
hang
I'll pull
out.
up support.
I definitely have a lot of ideas for it for sure. But that's something that I can actually speak to personally, having had the like opportunity to help people start brands, or like in my career or like in my path so far, I've like worked at some pretty interesting spots. And I just definitely know what it is in the context of like fashion and like doing a brand, the work that it takes to really put it in and like to really grow it and to also grow it authentically. Like I think
That's the hardest part for me. I
that's
think.
the hardest part
Like
in general.
holding off from paying for advertising has been like, I think one of the challenges for me in terms of scaling
Yeah.
sales.
I think that if I were to give anyone advice, and this is, I like, I have my own project that I do, which isn't really of note right now to talk about because like it's been on the back burner since like I left Germany, and I haven't really been putting effort into it. But the work that I've done on like formulating like the ideas of like brand identity and like the way to communicate to people and like thinking about a product first, but then how to market it and like all these things that I learned. The way to do it is the way that Andrew was just talking about, fucking with this guy Calvin, who we all know, who's like doing his own thing. It's built on legitimate, authentic connections. It's built around community. And I think in both y'all's cases, doing it at a place like Vital and having it be kind of the jumping off point and like a nexus for people to meet you, for us to learn about other people and the other stuff they do, it all just starts from here, which feels really nice too, because in a world where, in university, I had like fashion marketing classes and I had, brand development courses that I took, and I had to write these papers and give these presentations and stuff. The note that I'd always make in all these presentations was like, you can pay for X amount of ad spend, you can seed it with a certain influencer, you can do a pop-up, you can do whatever, but until you have people that are like repping for the homies, like Andrew used that kind of phrase earlier, then that's kind of the key component. And so
yeah, 100%.
I'm gonna drink your booch, baby, and I'm gonna help design you some pants. Well, you don't want me to?
That's love. That's love. That's love.
That's love, bro.
That's love.
That's love.
No, it's love. It's love. It's love.
That's love.
Maybe it's too much love.
I do have to definitely hone in on though really quick the aesthetics that. So I wanted to do. I had it in my notes, but definitely at some point I had to do a what's hot and what's not. A vital gym fashion.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's hit it quick.
So what's
rapid fire?
Let's do what's out first.
What's out? So what's not in?
So what's not in?
Okay.
And what is out?
Okay.
I think what is out is the full on Gorp fits. Like, not like wearing an Arc'teryx jacket is cool.
Yeah.
Especially if it's raining. Wearing specific pants or a specific kit to like climb and all of that's always going to be there. But what I'm talking about are like the full, like I was at Vital the other day and I saw this dude in full acronym. Do you guys know the brand Acronym? Like a full acronym fit. And I was like, dude, you do not need to be stepping out of the house in $5,000 worth of clothes to go to an indoor climbing gym.
I saw him, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's out. What's also out is, I think, the manifestation of the really burnt trends that like I'm seeing on the internet, and then I go to my climbing gym, I'm like, all right, bro, come on. Like, if you're gonna be wearing cowboy boots to the gym, right? Like, do it with some swag. Like, if you're doing sambas and jorts, do it with some swag. Like, if you're gonna be riding a trend hard, that's fine by me. But if you come to my climbing gym, like, do it with some swag. So another thing that's out is not doing it with swag. And what I mean by that is like people are not confident enough. Like people are not really putting that shit on. People are buying clothes, and people with a certain discernible income are just like buying shit and like just, wearing it, but they're not putting it on. So that's out as well. Couple things that are in though. I'm looking at Drew's stack of Nike boxes over there, and I think that like the shoe game of your like wearing sneakers or what approach shoes you're wearing to the gym, or like the slippers or like the Crocs game or whatever, people have been pushing it, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like I saw someone at Vital the other day. She was a really, really good climber, first of all. So that starts there. It's like, you nice or not. Second of all, she was like taking off her climbing shoes and she was wearing like the original, like not the Yeezy slides that were released with Adidas, but like the Yeezy Season 3 foam hospital slides while she was climbing. And I was like, okay, that's some swag. So it's like, how much are you putting into what you're wearing when you're not climbing, but like you're climbing? You know what I'm saying? Also, what's in? It's summer, it's getting hot, people are up on the roof. So it's like, again, I just kind of dissociated myself from y'all, but like your sauna fits, like what inseam length are guys wearing with the shorts? Is it going to be the 5-inch inseam Patagonia baggies? Those are steadfast. I always love to see those, but like, what are people wearing? Are people going for shorter shorts? People are going for longer shorts. The 7-inch inseam, like longer, kind of like, more 90s length short in the sauna. Like, I fuck with you a little bit if you're doing that, because that's like,
What
okay,
about
doing it different.
What about climbing shorts though?
Climbing shorts?
What are your thoughts
What
on-
are climbing?
Okay,
Or just
What
like
are climbing shorts?
climbing with shorts?
yeah, climbing with shorts.
Okay, I think this is either neither hot or not, because I think that this is so personal. I think you mentioned something earlier about someone like ripping their, like if you're ripping your leggings, like trying
Like,
to
I
do a
just feel
certain
like
climb.
if you climb like a broad range of sets,
Yeah.
leggings are not the way to go because you end up scraping your knees, your shins.
But what do you think? Like, so we're gonna design pants together,
Yeah.
right? So we think, and I think especially going outdoors, like, I was at Power Lines the other day, and I was trying to do a problem, and I just had to stop because I was like cutting my kneecap too much, and so like I should have been wearing pants. I will say though, the basketball shorts or like the like super comfy shorts, elite thing to climb in, indoor climbing especially. I'm a shorts guy for sure. I've got Stussy basketball shorts in my backpack that I'm going to climb in right after this.
I think a lot of people wear shorts, number one, because they are like more free than pants.
Mhm.
Like your hip mobility is not like hindered in any way.
Mhm.
And I think number two is like if there's some people that prefer to feel holds
Mhm.
like as close as possible, so like no socks, you don't tape up, you like you try to go like as raw as possible, and like if you have like
Do you go raw?
Well, I kind of want to know your thoughts about this because I just hopped on the sock gang.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
but like
okay.
if you
Let him
have like a
finish,
knee,
let him
if you have a knee bar like move, you like want to like have that tactile feedback on like your skin of like whether or not you're in that hold, whether you're locked in or not. So I guess like for some people shorts make more sense than pants.
Aesthetically, I think some shorts are cool. There's a dude wearing Rick Creeper like sweatpants shorts the other day, and I was like, that's fucking hard. I was like, damn, I'm into that. Like, I'm into that. I'm such a hype beast, bro. No, you were saying socks though?
I've been on
I
socks.
just hopped on the sock gang. I was raw dogging it.
The shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything. No tape, no nothing.
I think that's just a.
Tape is only when you're
I don't
injured.
think I'm like at a certain point in climbing where I would be able to say that that is like good or bad. I think it ultimately just comes down to comfort. I think for me, I've been rocking those Evolve Shamans, like the LV ones. So like they're narrower. I just bought the wrong fucking shoes like last year, and I need to like wait till I get my new pair because I wouldn't be able to fit in my shoes with socks on. Like I just wouldn't be able to do it. Do I sometimes wish I was wearing socks? For sure, because I feel like it would be more comfortable. But I also know some people would be like, "Yo,
You lose the sensitivity.
yeah,
Some people would say that.
yeah, like or like all that climbing shit, and also like, yo, you look like a scrub." Like,
I think here's my opinion because I've always worn socks. I think number one, your shoes don't smell. I think number two, if you wear a shoe that is aggressive, usually it will have like extra rubber in front, like it'll look like a claw. Because you need that like concentration of power and like pressure in one point, so that way you have precise footing. I'm of the belief that if you don't wear a sensitive shoe, it does not matter whether you wear socks or not because you won't be able to feel the hold anyway. And I think sensitive shoes include like Sportiva no edges, so like Futuras. They also include Dragos, where like basically your toes are like less than a centimeter away from the hold. You're like it's like one layer of rubber and that's it. If you're wearing like Solutions, I think you have enough rubber. It's like more, I think it might be more than a centimeter of rubber in front where you won't be able to like feel the hold. Other than that, you're stepping on it.
Okay.
And that's just my opinion.
Okay. I'm with that. I'm with that. I would also, getting on a podcast with two guys I met at a climbing gym, I would also say that I recently came to the conclusion that I have no desire to get any specific degree better at climbing anytime soon. I just enjoy it as like the hobby and like the practice. So that's why, as me being a material girl as I am, like I am so obsessed with like the aesthetics and like what I'm seeing, because like that's just something that's just on the forefront of my mind. If honestly, if I was really trying to get like good, I would yeah, I think I might have to go to a place where I was, you know, putting on headphones and I was just like just ripping it. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I feel like you didn't really talk a lot. This is like your podcast.
Everyone always says that. What do you want? What do you want me to talk about?
I don't know. It's just your pod, man. I mean,
I'm living.
He's living.
I'm living. I'm enjoying rock climbing.
Let the man live.
sure.
Um,
I have nothing that I'm trying to air out with you. I was just like,
recently I've just been really enjoying the outdoors, so
Yeah.
a lot more like
Well,
outdoor
okay,
climbing
okay.
to come.
He was just at Rumney,
Yeah.
and he was
Little-
just at Squamish.
little trip report, quick
Yeah.
trip reports. Because I saw the YouTube video.
Yeah,
I
let's do a quick trip report before we wrap up and do our sponsors. When's the Squamish video coming up?
I haven't started it. It's 4 hours right now.
Oh shit!
It's gonna take me weeks.
Can I, as someone who's watching your YouTube videos, because I'm tapped in,
Yeah,
bro, they're pretty long.
they're long.
They're long. I
They're
mean, obviously,
long.
I'm just
They're
looking at this now.
long.
We've been recording for
I
over an
can't
hour and a
believe
half. But
Rumney
like,
was 45
I
minutes.
know. They're long. I think Squamish is gonna have to be cut into parts
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh,
There was a lot that happened in Squamish. I'll just preface it, like a lot of ups and downs.
give us the highlights or the lowlights.
I think
a few.
they
a
went
few.
outdoors
I don't-
for one day and it was raining.
I don't want to spoil anything because I think
I also talked to like Kingston, everyone about it, like hearing about
the
weather
movie
and
will
shit.
kind of like speak for itself because there was a lot of stuff that like happened in the back end that I feel like I captured a lot of like the raw nature of it.
Mhm.
It'll be a good one. I think Squamish will be the best one yet.
Mm.
There's just a lot of
Alright.
content, and I'm scared to like.
When is the May vlog coming out though? That's what we really want. That's what the,
The
viewers
May
want.
vlog.
The May. Oh, I haven't even looked at any of that either. I have a lot of shit to like catch up on. But as far
Alright.
as the trip goes, both trips were amazing. Rumney was amazing for outdoor leading for the first time. I had a blast. I'm trying to go to Rumney as many times as possible this summer.
Let's run it, bro. Tell me when and where. I'm there.
Oh yeah, and
I'm
then
down.
Squamish was a beautiful trip. Not as much climbing, but just like connecting with friends and enjoying time together. So
Vibes.
vibes were high the whole trip. I had a great time.
You're a high vibe guy, dude.
I'm a high. I tell people I run on vibes.
Oh, also,
like-
okay, if we're doing rapid fire stuff, it was Drew's birthday recently.
It was my birthday.
Happy birthday, Drew.
Okay, wait.
Appreciate you.
Let's please don't say his age because then I'll have to cut this.
No, you can say my
No,
age.
no, I wasn't gonna say that. I was
It's
just
out there,
gonna-
it's
I was-
out there.
I was just gonna say it.
I'm comfy with my age now. I'm comfy.
Drew is the big 3-0. Happy
I'm-
birthday, Drew.
I'm 30.
I
It
was
feels
just
good. It feels good.
okay.
It feels good.
Okay. See, I
happy.
feel like there's a lot of stuff that we didn't even
He's
get to.
young
Like,
and
you're 30.
bumping. He's still young and bumping.
I think this is the prime. This is prime time.
It is.
My
He's ready
body
to-
feels good.
Yeah,
ready to
dude.
go.
I was gonna say, and I'm doing it now on the podcast. You're looking really good, man.
Appreciate
you.
you.
You did something in the past few months.
for sure.
I appreciate y'all.
and,
Appreciate
dude,
y'all.
We see you putting in the work.
Yep.
Reminder: he's got no. What was it? No filters on right now. You know, like no dating apps. It's open.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's looking
But
good.
life is good.
Nah, Drew's on gear for sure.
I mean, I'm looking at these bikes over here in the corner. I know that guy gets his cardio in.
Oh, yeah,
I got to do that. No, I was gonna say your birthday party was really fun though.
It was
playing,
fun.
Playing
Super
slosh
fun.
ball.
Thank you for coming.
Of course, man.
It was a good time.
It was calm.
We'll run it back. That was a good time.
Yeah, definitely
For
the park chilling. Shit, there is actually a lot of stuff that I would have wanted to get to, like the vibes for the summer right now. Do either of you guys surf?
Dude.
Rins and surfs.
You're
Rins and
speaking,
surfs?
dude. All right, this year is the year for surf. I'm speaking into the mic,
Dude.
This is the year for surf for
I
me.
got my board in my mom's house in
Holy
storage. I gotta
shit.
pull it out, guys. I'm
It's
trying
gonna
to
be a year of rock climbing and surfing and
Mhm.
running. That's the three. This
There we
summer.
go. There we go.
So
And then just wait till next year until I, spoiler alert, buy my aunt's car in the fall,
oh shit.
and then I'll be whipped out, and I can actually do all the outdoor shit I want.
It's gonna be a good summer. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
No, it's good vibes. It's good vibes.
Always good vibes.
Yeah, this was really fun. I'm excited. I listened to a few episodes with the homies, and
This is our longest episode.
this is
yet.
definitely our long. Maybe it's because I'm a yapper, or Jesus, Bill, you're a yapper. Like I thought like I was the guest, but
I had some
what-
caffeine coming in.
he had a hit. But no, this was really cool. I'm excited about y'all's projects and what we get up to, and I'll end off by saying, it was really cool meeting both of you guys. I think about
appreciate
y'all
it,
when I think
dog.
about Vital, and aside from all the Vital stories I could have gone into and like the coworkers and the drama, that is there. A lot of fun stories to talk about. I think about guys like y'all who make that community so fun for me, and I fuck with you guys, my friends, for sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's love. It's love.
it's love.
All
It's
love.
It's love.
Peace and
Always
love.
love. Always love.
All right, so you got some sponsors.
Well, before that, we gotta thank you for coming on.
you.
Okay,
appreciate
it's me.
appreciate you, Miles.
Of course, man. Of course. Excited to check out these pants later.
Thanks for being around Vital. Thanks for being around us.
Of course, man.
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Sweet.
I guess it's on to our sponsors. So, Drew, who is our first sponsor for today?
The first sponsor is Beta Break Apparel. Big things coming as we alluded to in this podcast. So
Pants.
Boom.
Drop 2.1. So, I will be tabling again at BKB July 19th, and I'll be selling all the shirts that I've released before. And our second sponsor is Drewbucha.
Boom. Flavors.
Yeah.
The
Flavors,
OPM is
yeah.
the best.
support us.
Yeah. We'll see us when we pop up this summer too.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Support Bill, support me,
There's-
support Miles.
There's a new flavor out, isn't there?
Good community. Yeah, I've been working on some new flavors. I just pushed out guava. Guava's
Ooh.
crazy.
Woo!
Guava's good. And then I've been working on.
You can cop at Vivi Cafe.
Oh,
Vital
true. True. Congrats again on that,
Thank you,
man.
thank
That was
you.
huge. Shout out Jolene.
Shout out Jolene.
Shout out Bibby.
Shout out Jolene. Shout out Vivi.
Shout out
And I'm
y'all.
working on some Calpico ones right now. So
Boom.
those are crazy.
Boom. It about to be a movie this summer.
It's always a movie.
All right. You trying to go to Vital? Trying to go climb?
Let's go
Yes,
climb.
sir.
All right.
Let's
Let's do
climb.
it. Let's go
All
climb.
right. We'll see y'all next time on Something's Brewing.